Hi class, today we are on Saxon Book 4, Lesson 70, and we are going to talk about word problems that relate to fractions of a group. So I will tell you, now I'm speaking as a teacher and a parent, I wasn't sure that I really loved how Saxon teaches this when I first started teaching out of this book. However, recently, my oldest daughter, who is in algebra, used this exact same process to almost create her own equation to make algebra easier for her. So I was pretty impressed by that, and when she showed me how she did it, I said, "You use Saxon. You were just making the diagram for fractions of a group." So regardless of how I feel about it, I think that for some kids, this process can be really helpful to helping you understand fractions of a group. So let's get started. Our first example says 1/2 of the carrot seeds sprouted. If 84 seeds were planted, how many seeds sprouted? So the way Saxon teaches us to do this is we draw a diagram like a box, like this. And we are saying 1/2 of our seeds sprouted. So we could label this side with, these are the sprouted seeds, and these are the seeds that did not sprout. And they told us there were 84 total seeds. So then what we need to figure out is how many do we put in each half of our diagram. So if we had 84, we're basically going one for you, one for you, one for you, one for you, till we get 84 seeds. Now, that's going to take a really long time. I can see from my diagram that I have 2 equal parts. So really all I want to do is divide 84 by 2. So 2 goes into 8 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract, I get nothing. Bring down my 4. 2 goes into 4 2 times, and I can see that I don't have any remainder. So my answer here is 42. That means this half had 42 seeds, and this half had 42 seeds. So how many seeds sprouted? 42 seeds. Okay, our next example says on Friday, 1/3 of 27 students purchased lunch in the school cafeteria. How many students purchased lunch on Friday? So just like before, we are going to start with a rectangle. And then we need to look at our fraction. It says 1/3. So we're going to take our rectangle and divide it in 2/3. So there are 27 total students. We have to decide how many go in each box. It has to be the same number because thirds are all equal pieces. So what are we going to do to figure out how many go? We need to know what plus itself equals 27. We are dividing 27 by 3. Now, this is a memory fact, so you should know our answer is 9. So if there's 27 total students, we're going to have 9 students in each group. So we have 9 here, 9 here, 9 here. Now we're going to go back to the problem and say, well, what did they want us to figure out? It says 1/3 of the students purchased lunch. How many students purchased lunch? So 1/3, that's just going to be this section here. These guys purchased lunch. These guys did not purchase lunch. So how many students bought lunch in the cafeteria? 9 students. Our next problem says 1/4 of the team's 32 points were scored by Ty. How many points did Ty score? Once again, we'll make a rectangle. And this time it says 1/4. So we're going to divide it into 4 equal pieces. They scored a total of 32 points. So this is another memory fact. We have to take this 32 and divide it evenly into our 4 pieces. So 32 divided by 4, it's going to be 8 points in each section. Oh, I didn't put an S there. So 8 points, 8 points, 8 points, 8 points. And now it says Ty scored 1/4 of them. So how much is 1/4 of the points? 8 points. Okay, our last example before we move on to lesson practice is what is 1/5 of 40? What is 1/5 of 40? So we can use the same diagram to figure that out. Here's my rectangle. I'm splitting it up into fifths. So there's my fifths. And I need to figure out if the total is 40, how many are going to go into each fifth? Well, 40 divided by 5 gives me 8. This isn't a word problem, so it doesn't say 8 what. But I could check my answer by saying 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 40. So what is 1/5 of 40? 1/5 of 40 equals 8. All right. I am going to put most of your lesson practice on the board. It is on page 448 if you want to follow along. So A is 1/3 of 60. B is 1/2 of 60. E and F are word problems, so we'll do those together at the end. Go ahead and pause. Try to figure out these first 4 problems, and when you come back, we'll go over the answers together. So, I'm going to start with a diagram. This is for problem A. So we're trying to find 1/3. I have 60. I need to divide them evenly into 3 pieces. So what is 60 divided by 3? That's going to be 20 in each piece. And what would 1/3 be? 1/3 of 60 is 20. Now we're going to do 1/2 of 60. So another diagram, but this one gets split in half. And if I have 60, how many are going to go in each half if I have to split that up evenly? That should be 30, so 1/2 is equal to 30. Now I'm doing 1/4 of 60. So here's my diagram, And I have to put equal amounts. Well, half was 30, and if I notice my fourths, I've just taken both of those and split them in half again. So these two are going to add up to 30. That means I need 15 in each side. These two are going to add up to 30, so I need 15 in each section, and 1/4 of 60 is 15. Finally, we have 1/5 of 60. So we'll divide this into fifths. And I want to split it up so that it's even. This is memory problem. What number times 5 is going to give me 60? Or 60 divided by 5 is equal to, did you say 12? So 1/5 of 60, just this section, is going to be 12. Okay, problem E, the word problem. It says 1/2 of the 32 children were boys. How many boys were there? So there's 32 children in all. Half of them are boys. So we have to take 32 and split it in half. If you don't have that memorized, you could divide it. 2 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract. Bring down your next digit. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12, no remainder. So there were 16 boys and 16. If we had 32 kids and 16 boys, the other one will be 16 girls. And our last lesson practice problem is F. It says 1/3 of the 24 coins were quarters. How many quarters were there? So draw my diagram. We're talking about thirds. So I want to split it into 3 equal pieces, and there's a total of 24 coins. So in order to get 3 equal pieces, how many coins belong in each section? 1/3 of them were quarters. So how many quarters are there? 8 quarters. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to start your written practice, which begins on page 448. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.